So Kiwi went and looked into how the wind is generated in OG Wii Sports, and we found out some new rules that we didn't know existed before. So I'm just here to relay this information to you in a visual format. Keep in mind that this only applies to 9-hole because as far as I'm aware, no new rules were discovered for the 3-hole courses that we didn't already know about. So the main idea of this is that not only is zero wind guaranteed once, but the way that the game makes sure that zero wind is guaranteed once is jank. So let's explore that jank. So first things first, the game generates a random sequence of the 8 possible directions in the game and the 16 possible speeds in the game. The most important part of this is the location of the 0, and it kind of makes some branches that we're going to have to address. There's 3 different scenarios that can happen, so we're going to go through them right now. So first scenario is, let's say that 0 wind is 1st through 8th in the sequence. So let's just copy and paste the first 9 speeds into the speeds area, like so. So then we're going to start inserting directions in order until we hit 0. And the thing with the 0 like this is that it's going to copy its direction over to the next hole. The working title we've been giving this kind of 0 is a natural 0. You'll see why in a second. And then we just use the rest of the directions. Okay, so I've changed the sequence so that 0 wind now comes 9th. I've pasted in the first 9 speeds, and we're going to start putting in directions in order like this. And now there's not really a direction left in the sequence to put for 9, so in this situation, the devs just decided to default to S. So finally, I've changed the sequence so that 0 wind does not appear in the first 9, and I've copy and pasted the first 9 speeds right here, and we're going to fill in directions in order again, and we don't hit 0. So now we have 2 problems here. 1, we don't have a direction for hole 9, and 2, 0 is supposed to be guaranteed once, and that's not here. So now we need to figure out how to solve that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a random hole, hole 2. We're going to change its speed to 0, and we're going to steal its direction and put it on hole 9. This kind of 0 right here, the working title we have for it is a forced 0. But now let's say it picks hole 9, and we can set the hole 9 speed to 0, but we don't really have a direction from 9 to steal from. You might think that it might default to south, but no, the answer is even better. So let's say that you just played this here 9-hole game, and now you hit restart and you're generating some new wind. So because you're trying to access the direction of 9 when it doesn't really exist, it's gonna carry over from the last game. So basically in this scenario, if it picked 9, then the direction on 9 would become northeast. This would also apply if you played an expert game, for example, and you had a direction from there, because I'm pretty sure it uses the same value. If you just turned on the game, then all the direction and speed values will be 0 and south, I think. But nevertheless, if you were in this situation and you got 9 picked, then the direction would be south. But this isn't really useful in practice because 1, influencing the direction at all in that situation is really rare, because first of all, you need 0 wind to not be in the first 9, and then you need to get 9 picked as the random hole to get overwritten. And 2, it doesn't really do anything, it just changes the direction of the flag. Well, what does this all mean? Of course we want to know the wind before it shows up on the screen, and this info is going to help us narrow it down. So we now know that 0 wind will always show up once. I don't know if some people already knew that, but what we definitely didn't know is about the whole natural zeros and forced zeros situation. How if you get 0 wind, it can either show the wind direction of the next hole or the wind direction of hole 9. And based on this, the direction of 9 is entirely predictable if we count 0 as a direction, and you can just follow the flowchart here. So yeah, shoutouts to Kiwi for going through the code and finding this out. Have fun OG golfing.